Yeah, they don't like the small time creators. Anyway, we bring you this breaking news podcast. I am one of your hosts, Amadeus Kiyoma.
Another host, Jim Bag Bob.
And I am your host. Okay. Um. Yeah. Today we have a guest. Uh.
Maybe two.
Maybe two. We don't know. I guess we're gonna
Well,
find out. It's a episode of many wonders. I'm here drinking Coke and some shitty ass Jim Beam.
But why are you still drinking Jim Beam? I thought you cut that shit out.
Why do you make it sound like I'm drinking Jim Beam regularly? I drink like alcohol now and then, not Jim Beam all the time.
I'm sick of you drinking it. Jim Beam is
Look, it's ass, but like it's like the same thing as like Jack, right? It's just like cheaper.
Yeah, so it's even worse than Jack Daniels, which is already pretty fucking
Jack
bad.
Daniels is just a fucking name brand. It's all this. It's the same shit. Maker's Mark
No,
tastes a little different, but it's almost the same.
I've never tried. I've wanted to though. I've heard it's okay, but pretty much any. I think the worst alcohol I've ever tried has still got to be Hennessy. That shit is disgusting. There's no way
I haven't
around that.
tried it yet, and I think for good reason.
It is a good reason. It's disgusting. It kills you, and
It kills you.
yeah. Speaking of killing you, we're gonna start off our groundbreaking episode with the hot story of the week. Um, have you been to McDonald's?
All right, I'm sorry.
You just killed all my momentum. Have you been to McDonald's at all recently?
Mm-mm. No, I haven't.
You have. Well, then you and your family may be entitled to financial compensation. Yeah, they have an E. coli outbreak. It's it's kind of funny. I think like 2 days after Molly and we DoorDashed it. That's when I remember hearing this story drop. Granted, I didn't get a quarter pounder, which is where the E. coli is coming
Yeah.
from. I had the McChicken Big Mac, which is it's crazy that people are like, "Whoa, that's so crazy! That's so crazy! I've never even thought of that." It's the simplest item swap on a menu. But anyway, um, I think I remember hearing that one person died because of it, which is crazy. I thought like we as a society just moved past these foodborne illness outbreaks. I thought we were good enough about that.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but it was probably an old person. Also, my audio is still coming through when you're in, bro.
I don't know what the fuck you want from me.
I can only do
All
so
right,
much on my end. All right. If I turn down the
I can
volume,
only
then
do
it's
so
the
much on my
volume
end.
for the entire stream.
All right, I've turned you down a little bit. We'll see if this fixes it. Um, yeah, I mean it's in a lot of different states. I mean from Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oregon, Utah, Washington, Wisconsin, and
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Well, it says with 75 people sick
Um,
and I guess one person has died. 13 states.
I think you're reading fake news. I'm reading ABC.
You used to work
I
for
don't know.
McDonald's, right?
Yeah, well, I can testify that there were people who actually tried to follow food safety protocol for the most part, and then there were people who just did not give a fuck, and cross contamination was their favorite
Yeah.
thing in the world. Um, Even at my worst, I never did cross contamination. Like you don't touch raw beef and then with your hand without washing it, and then you go grab a McChicken patty and put it on someone's fucking sandwich.
Do you
I
think it's more of like an internal
I
thing and it's not like the people preparing the food?
it's got to
Because
be
it's
some kind of
13
cross
different
contamination
states.
like that. Well, no, it would be so I guess it wouldn't be the workers' fault. It would be wherever they're getting their supply
Yeah.
from. Because if it's the onions and the beef, the cows that they're using for the quarter pounders, I'm guessing those cows or wherever the fuck they were sourcing their onions from, it had to have gotten infected from there. Which is weird. I mean, I guess it's not impossible that shit like that doesn't happen, but
They seem like all over the place. Got Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, Oregon, Utah, Washington,
yeah.
Wisconsin. It's, I mean,
I
if it's a
mean,
supplier, then it
I'm
has to
not
be
sure.
like One of their bigger ones.
multiple.
It's
Yeah.
probably Idaho.
I'm not
It's probably
sure.
the potatoes.
Well, actually, this ties into the meme of the week, but Molly informed me that she saw some people commenting that it was Donald Trump who is responsible for this
Okay.
because he visited one
It's all
for
just a joke.
for like 20 minutes, and that's I know it's a funny joke. All right, it's a very funny joke. Who's really? Why the fuck would I? I think it's a good thing. Actually, it's not. No.
I think it's a good thing that one
Um,
person died.
well, it could be a good thing, as in like, okay, now we got to take our shit more seriously. We need to look at the root cause of what made this all happen,
Okay,
and
yep.
we're having some performance issues.
Yeah, we're getting
today.
DDoSed or something.
Fucking the Wayback server, the Wayback machine, they've gotten DDoSed
Yeah,
multiple
for some
times
reason.
lately.
I don't know why people want to erase
People
history
are
like that, but
Well, it's two reasons. It's either trolls or government entities. There's like not a whole lot of other people that fit the bill. The fucky thing is, um, so say you previously owned a website and you took it down for whatever reason, and the Wayback Machine archived it, and you request them to take it down, which you can do. In order to do that, though, you have to provide your identity, pretty much your information, so that they can verify that yes, you are the person who originally owned this site. Um, so all that data is compromised, all the passwords and shit.
yeah.
It's been like compromised since I think the YouTube video I watched about it said it was compromised since like September, early September. So it's been a while.
Well, hopefully we can keep it up. But like hopefully they can actually use it properly and fulfill their shit, fulfill the requests.
Yeah, it's just it's like burning a library or shooting up a library. It's just why there
Yeah.
of all places. It's But no, the one good thing to come out of this situation, I've been informed of a new website, Have I Been Pwned, which is actually I think
It's
it's a
been
cool
around for a
website. I didn't
while.
know about that.
But yeah.
This is the first I've ever heard about it. Um, yeah, basically you just type in your email and they can check if your email has been in any sort of data breaches. I've had 7 with my account. Um, there was a Town of Salem. If you guys remember that game, yeah, my email address, password, and username got leaked.
Shit.
Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling Network. And then there's a couple other websites that I don't know. I don't
That makes
remember.
sense. It's probably a lot of accounts that are just sitting there, you don't log into.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't use any of these frequently. Most of these I haven't touched in
Town of
years.
Salem,
So actually,
that takes me back.
Yeah, same. That was a good way to waste fucking time at school.
Yeah.
The fuck do you mean? What? Sorry, the person who I might bring on as a guest, I texted him that yeah, if you want to join in like 30 minutes or no, he's not gonna
All
fucking
right.
do it. I
He's
already
that
know
he's that
him.
lazy?
Yes. I'm just saying we have a lot of topics because we do. Um, you know what? Before we go into more topics, let's just take it on a more personal level.
More personal.
How have you been feeling? Yeah, how have you been feeling today, Jason?
All right. I mean, yeah, it's been great. What about you?
That is the most NPC answer I have ever heard. I had a pretty uneventful week. I was in South Dakota
You asked about how
driving
I
out.
was feeling today, not about my week.
Well, today I've been feeling ecstatic. I basically did nothing with my life. I bought a $100 humidifier, which works pretty well. It's nice. I need it desperately.
Okay.
Um, I've been playing Battlefield 1 with some effort control freak thumbstick adapters. I'm a professional gamer now. I'm gonna go pro.
You said the adapters are kind of helpful.
It's I don't know.
I just
They kind of are precision
they
aiming,
just look too goofy.
but it looks goofy and it feels weird. Like your thumbs are resting
Yeah.
higher up, so I'm kind of getting like recalibrated to it. But it's what the pros use, so
All right. I mean, that's
you
what they
know,
claim on the box, I'm sure. But yeah.
yeah. I love seeing TikTok posts of people. They gotta be jokes, but like I just broke up with my girlfriend, quit my job, I moved back into my parents' house. It's time to lock in.
Yeah.
My goal was to become a professional Call of Duty player. I'm just some people's lives. I would love to just like see a 2 hour movie of it. Just like to see.
I feel like a lot of them would just be
I
boring.
just want. They would be really fun. I don't think I'd be a whole lot different. Like,
What, maybe some like
I
social
mean, obviously,
troubles here and there. Maybe, showing up to work.
it,
Maybe he like pops
it'd be
off
a
with a
coming.
joke one or twice a day, and that's about it.
Yeah. I feel like my life movie would be like a coming of age indie movie. The production value is kind of low. Soundtrack is very forgettable, but
Okay.
you know, it's about a boy who is thrown into a cruel, cruel world, and he's got to figure out how to do life his way and make it work out. But it's also a
Yeah.
love story at the same time. So he gets the girl at the end.
All right. Um,
That's that's my life in a 2 hour movie.
mine is I'm still on the fucking uphill battle. Did some stuff here and there, got an interesting job, and then I feel like I'm still in my tutorial.
I think Jason Statham would be a good actor to play you.
Isn't he British? Just some random
Yeah,
British guy. Yeah, even like
he's
through
British
like
and
my middle
bald.
school years, it's just like a bunch of like middle school actors, and then Jason Statham is just sitting there.
Yeah, like what kind of story would you see it as?
I have no fucking idea.
How would you
I've never
feel? What about
thought
a?
about it
Do you think a
before.
comedy would suit you? Do you think like you could turn your life events into like a very funny movie?
A rom com.
A rom
I would
com?
call it just a comedy. It's like at the thrift store. I mean, it would probably just be like The Office.
Yeah, The
About a
Office,
kid
but
with the door open yesterday.
Jesus fucking
Yeah, The
Christ.
Office, except like what someone pissed their pants that one time. Someone shat on the floor, right, or something like that.
A lot of the workers get, kind of sexually harassed by older
Yeah,
men.
right
It's
after they're
cute.
sexually harassed, it's just a laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fuck?
I think we could make a very funny commentary about the average woman's life
Yeah,
in this this state.
but it would be interesting because it would be like you would shed light on it in a disrespectful way, but
Yeah.
so you get all like the creeps to like laugh about it, and then you just kind of do like a PSA in the end.
You do the side eye in the theater. Yeah. Side eye in the theater, you know
Yeah.
who's who. I think Molly's life we could make into like a comedy documentary. I think we could do it.
Okay.
Um,
I-
did anything interesting happen during your week, Molly, or aside from someone pissing with the door open, just in view of everyone?
Um, I spent 4 hours at the ER this week.
What happened at the ER?
Nothing. They couldn't find anything wrong with me.
That's great. 8 years of school, and you get hooked. Well, I'm not sure. It's an interesting one. I'll give you that.
What was she getting checked for?
For the past like 3 weeks, it feels like my stomach has been being used as a punching bag. Um, like it's just pain. Like pain to where I can barely function, and I keep getting really nauseous
Yeah.
randomly. this week it got really bad to a point where like I was actually crying in pain. Finally was like, you know what? Maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe like my appendix is bursting or
Yeah.
something and like I need to fucking get surgery. So I went to urgent care after work on Wednesday. Get in there. The doctor comes in and was like, I think I'm going to send you to the ER. They can do more for you than
Yeah.
I can. They could not do more for me than they could. So I get transferred over there. I have to answer all the questions again. Have to, have to pee in a cup, get my blood drawn, just sit there in a room in fucking pain, just absolute pain.
Yeah.
Doctors just like, yeah, I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
And then the tests come back, everything's perfectly normal with me. And then they gave me 2 different kinds of medicine. One of them helped a bit. And then they're just like, yeah, we'll just prescribe that to you. And then I went home.
So it's not going to fix any. Like at best, they've just given you medication for. Yeah, that's
temporary.
Well, then why would you sell the cure when you can just treat the poison?
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. So one pill helps with one thing, and then that pill creates problems, so you get another pill.
Well, they prescribed me 2 things, one of which they didn't even give me when I was there. It was supposed to help when I get nauseous. The other one is just something I'm supposed to drink every 6 hours, and it helps for about 4 hours, and then I'm in
So they
pain
just
again.
give you temporary solutions to a long-term problem? Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
I keep on hearing that, like, so in country like Canada, for example, they have universal health care, whatever. Like, the difference is you'll have to wait 5 hours, but then, you'll get at least medical treatment. Here, you were waiting
I was in a room for 4 hours.
in a room for, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this analogy, but it's not, I get that, like, not all doctors are made equal and that you can't specialize and be knowledgeable about every little single thing. Like, you can know how to do fucking brain surgery. Doesn't mean you're going to be an expert on gut
Right.
health, but there should be someone in the building that can figure fucking something.
That's interesting. I've also heard, some stories akin to that where like they'll get help or they'll try to get help and then they'll just refer them to another place and then they're sent to another place. And then eventually it's just
their
they don't get the issue solved.
like I was trying to be a doctor and figure like my guess my doctor assumption is that an excess of like stomach acid for whatever reason. It's just maybe it's dietary.
A lot of people have been asking if I am lactose intolerant or need to be gluten-free now.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. 21 years old and finally get told, yeah, you have a gluten allergy.
I mean, it'd be good to know, but like at the same time, it's like,
Yeah.
really? I'm one of those people. It's like finding out you have a peanut allergy. It's just
Well, what's interesting is actually recently, out of nowhere, I would just get like, bloated, and it would especially suck since I'm doing a running challenge. But and
Yeah.
I would just be bloated all day for no reason. And then I thought because like Zins are like a big thing that can affect your gut health, especially if you swallow or like if you it's just nicotine. So nicotine can affect your
Yeah.
gut health a lot. So I thought it was that. Started cutting out on that and bringing my usage of that down, and nothing really helped that much. So then I decided to cut out dairy and have less of that, and lo and behold, it seems like the issue has resolved itself. So that would be interesting if like out of nowhere I just became lactose intolerant. Out of nowhere I
Yeah.
become normal.
I don't No, all of us here, we have European heritage.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, like, that's not the be all end all, but like, our ancestors were supposed to have been drinking and eating dairy products because it's good.
Yeah, we
So
created a
vegan.
mutation to keep drinking that fucking milk. Because someone wanted to play fucking freaky time with a cow. And now we can have fucking
Yeah,
bowls of
so
cereal.
normalized.
But
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck the issue is.
I think maybe, Jason, you should go to a doctor and then they'll tell you what's wrong with you.
Sit there 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm good. But I think I'll wait on that one. I think I'll just like diagnose myself, like I have been doing for the past couple of years.
Yeah, it seems to, I don't know, like, I think hospitals and doctors are, they're insanely useful when it comes to surgeries. They are specialized in that. They can do that, and it'll be better than the guy who can do it for cheaper. But
He's better than, the guy in the back of the fucking McDonald's or Wendy's alleyway, saying, "Hey man, I can do this for like a couple bucks."
Yeah, so let me take your kidney from you. I mean, I get that, like, it is kind of a hard job for them to diagnose. Yeah, I have general stomach pain. I'm sure it's a billion different things that could be causing that, but like, it can't be that many things causing it. It's either
not even name a single thing that may be causing it. Just be like,
you don't get any solution. You just take these pills, give the prescription, give the drug company money, and
See, that would annoy me. Because I don't want to just
no point in solving.
I don't want to just pop pills and then just not know what the fuck is going on. I'm surprised they didn't do like a MRI or, check it out even further. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so.
That was the next step if anything looked weird on the blood test. But since everything came back perfect, they're like, I don't think it's necessary to do that.
That doesn't.
Well, I mean,
if I get the chance to go to the doctor with you next time, I'll say in a very polite way, yeah, can you guys actually do something? Because just giving a prescription isn't going to cure it. I mean, you can give someone with depression antidepressants.
I mean, you guys live in the state.
Still live the same life.
You guys live in the state of Mayo Clinic, which is one of the most, elite hospitals.
World renowned.
Yeah, elite hospitals in the world. So you'd think that, they'd have more expanded expertise.
Rub off a little bit, it'd be like, oh yeah, I know a guy from the Mayo Clinic and he gave a great fucking seminar.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But, or like, went to the U of M or something. Because they're really big with hospitals too. But
yeah. Oh, this is
nope, just contribute to big farm.
Like they can, like simple broken bones, sprained ankles, shit like that. Yeah, it's easy. We know the procedure. But actually diagnosing a slightly more complicated issue, I don't think there's real incentive. I mean, there's real incentive if you pay enough money for them to find the root cause.
Yeah. Or if you're that important.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't have billionaire status yet. Once we get the podcast money, we'll get it figured out. And
speaking of the podcast, we do have a special guest that is coming up in probably in a few seconds. If you have any topics that you'd like to ask someone in the 82nd, that's how they wanted me to refer to them. Just ask. And you can just ask them in the chat.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, we're not like the other streamers, all right? We actually look at the chat.
We try to.
We try to. I have it up all the time. All right. All right. Let's go hop into callers and see what he has to say.
Fucking good cop, bad cop, this shit.
Intervention.
All right, let's do it.
All right, someone in the 82nd, you're on the Opinion Planet podcast. Welcome.
Well, appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear
Yeah,
me.
yeah. No, you're coming in.
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So yeah, what's new with you?
Yeah, how was your week?
It was very good. Very filled with adventure and shit bagging, like a professional.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds sounds about
Yeah,
right.
not, sounds like my normal day, huh?
So what do you mean by shitbag?
Do the things that I have to do and disappear. Nah, I'm kidding.
What
Nah,
does that mean?
it's been a good week.
It's been a
It's
good
been a
week.
good week.
So you don't master in the arts of
Yeah, it's been a
shitbagging
good week.
then?
I haven't gotten to that level.
Okay.
I'm still becoming a professional. I'm not a master yet.
What does it mean to be a professional at shitbagging? I'm unfamiliar with this term.
So shitbagging is basically doing what you have to do, and that's it. Don't go for more.
Okay. Act your
Yeah,
wage. Okay. Okay.
yeah. Stay under the radar, if you know.
That's good. Yeah, I think unless it's your life calling, that's a perfectly normal energy
Yeah.
level to carry for your
Doing
job.
what you're asked and then just fucking off until you need to return to your work. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I'm kidding. Nah, I usually don't do that. But
Yeah,
what about
well,
the
it's
week?
okay. You can be a whistleblower. Like none of your superiors are going to
Yeah.
be listening to this podcast.
All right, all right. There we go. Now I'm kidding.
We're a safe space. We've had Edward Snowden on here. We've had Chelsea Manning. Any military
Yeah.
whistleblower is welcome on this podcast.
Yeah, have
That's
you been
crazy.
abused by your leadership and or seniors
Thank you for bringing that up,
or
bro.
your peers?
One peer. Nah, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
okay.
Nah. Hell no. Thank God, no.
That's good. Remain anonymous. I think that's the best place. Play to call right now. The
Oh, yeah.
military
Yeah, they
recently
ain't finding me.
brought out a new blue book, which for people who don't know is a new it's basically a booklet on instructions on social media use.
Basically how we operate on that stuff.
Is it like anything relevant, or has anything
I
changed?
guess, yeah, what really has changed is just that it's up to your commander's discretion on like if they find your social media and they link you to it, and if you're posting like wild shit that's
Okay.
that's somehow disrupting your work, your day-to-day work, or your uh your like your companies and shit, then
Yeah, I think that's fun.
yeah, I mean it makes sense. But like when you make it broad, because they put in to your commander's discretion,
Yeah,
it can really mean anything.
yeah. You just get so stuck with a shitbag
So it could
commander.
just be
Like
like an
the
asshole
one
that
that
just
you had.
like, for lack of
Oh, like
better terminology, is out to get you, or is just fucking just an asshole.
Doesn't have
Yeah.
good humor.
Yeah, he just has shitty humor or just doesn't understand modern humor. Then yeah, I mean,
back in my
it's their discretion. If they really wanted to, they could tell you, hey, take that shit down. I want you to delete your social media right now.
I want to invade your personal life and demand what you can and can't
Yeah,
do.
can and can't say.
Interesting. Interesting.
So I think that
Someone in the 82nd, what are your thoughts on the First Amendment?
Everything I say. Well, not gonna lie. I'm not a person that like usually looks up a lot of that stuff, but uh, I played the fifth. Nah.
so you
Oh, so
just
you did read
quoted
the
an
Constitution.
amendment.
Yeah. I don't look that stuff up. I don't know. Are you an illegal? Kind of sound like.
Hey.
That's crazy.
Calm down.
That's crazy. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. Hell no. Yeah, I'm actually right now at the border,
Oh, okay.
trying to get good signal.
You're in on the border, the restaurant?
Yeah, sure.
To be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a matter to be prescribed by law.
So
So it's just like people.
honestly, I mean, It's literally, isn't that like invading the
Yeah,
house?
it's just soldiers just like living in your house, just using your shit just
Yeah, like
because.
just going knock on the door, like, hey, yo, can I use
No, they
your
didn't even ask. They're like,
fucking,
hey,
I don't know, your
it's time for me to come in.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Hey, I'm gonna use your microwave. Give me 5 minutes.
yeah. I find it a good reflection of the times that they were living in when that was written as the Third
Can you
Amendment.
imagine if it wasn't a thing?
The third
And if that was like a regular thing that we did?
that would be fucked. Any random soldier would just be like, "Yeah, I want a place to sleep. Let me hop
Yeah.
in."
Open
Yeah, that would
world,
be. You know what? I
video
think it is
game
a good
type
thing.
shit.
Yeah. So do you know the? I'm sorry to test your constitutional knowledge, but I'm just trying to make sure you're an actual U.S. citizen. Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is?
Again, the fourth.
Yeah, the fourth.
I mean, it is. It's basically just like your secure, basically your stuff or your paperwork, your rights.
Okay.
Secure. What was it? Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good enough.
What's
Okay.
that shit called? Are you auditing him right now?
Yeah. I'm just, I'm just trying to see if I surpass a member of the military in terms of an oath that you swore to uphold.
I just think it's.
So-
I think the funniest auditor one is still like the one outside of one of the military bases. And they're like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
aren't
they
we
have
allowed to record? It's the First Amendment. But like, military law is different than, than regular federal law.
Well, yeah, they don't have to operate like the same way that a police agency does. They don't have to follow whatever department policies, or I don't think necessarily they even have to follow like state Supreme Court or Supreme Court rule. It's just a different world, all right? It's just different. I think they're interesting, but that is my dream job. I do want to get the courage to actually try and do one of those one day, but it has to be like tactful, but still a good audit. Like it really presses their buttons.
Yeah.
I think if I get the guy who talked to me about my activities that I did that landed me in court, like if I get him again, I think
That'd
it
be
could
interesting.
Because he's already gonna be, oh, this fucking kid.
That's like one of those things where like, you're thinking in the shower about a conversation you had.
Yeah.
All the stuff you
I do.
wish you said
Yeah, I'm
or didn't say.
yeah, looking back on that, I could have played that out so much better. But that's neither here nor there. We don't talk about the past, Tim. We're focused on the future.
Speaking of the future, like it was a deli. It's like a delicatessen. So kind of, I mean, we bake stuff, but we never had ovens you could enter. I mean, we had freezers we can enter.
Yeah, but like no walk-in oven.
No. I feel like that's like overkill. What do you need a walk-in oven for?
Well, if you have a lot of pastries, I mean, it seems kind of reasonable. Like, it's not a massive space. Like, you can fit like 2 or 3
Yeah.
carts, at least for most of the Walmarts I've seen. You can definitely fit a person in there, but it's not as big as like a walk-in freezer. But yeah, so from what I've been able to see about this story, just to recap, I think like a 19-year-old girl was burned alive in a Walmart because she got locked inside the walk-in oven.
Yeah.
And she wasn't able to get out. Which I've seen people say that you really need to like slam those doors shut in order for them to properly lock. So like it just
Yeah.
and they also should, I think, have an emergent. Maybe they don't have an emergency release on the
They
inside.
apparently
I
they
imagine,
do. Yeah, I saw a video and like a normal oven, you're able to just like press, and it's like an emergency release.
Yeah. So my guess, if this wasn't like done by a coworker that just got broken up with her, would be that the weight of the door, like she fully opened it, walked in, it closed faster than she thought, and the weight of the door moving to close fully slammed it shut.
Well, that's also interesting
And
because I saw a video of that and someone tried like, closing it, kind of like just a little fast, and it just stopped
Yeah.
right before the latch. So you got to push it in.
Interesting. Yeah, she was fucking killed.
That's insane.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know what. I feel like that's like I don't even wish that against like my worst enemy.
Yeah, walk-in oven. That sounds fucking
Getting burned
horrific.
alive. It was during duty hours too, so like they had to like kick people out of the store.
Yeah. I don't know if it's real, but like I remember hearing some audio clips. I don't think it's real, but like it could be real. It just sounds very unpleasant.
Yeah.
It's like I know Walmart has a fuck ton of cameras because they don't like people stealing from them. So you'd imagine they'd have at least like one camera that could have kind of seen what exactly happened if it was, you know, if she did something wrong and obviously whatever safety equipment so that people don't lock themselves in
Yeah.
failed, or if it was someone doing it. Like I feel like if someone was doing it, I don't know. I don't know. There's questions that I don't have an answer to. Yeah, it's just kind of a morbid story that
Yeah.
happened. there's no tie into a greater moral understanding of the universe with this one.
What about you? Someone in the 82nd. Have you worked at a place that has like a walk-in oven? Have you ever experienced one?
So I didn't work in one, but I did have a family member that worked in a bakery. They still work on one. I never been on a walk-in oven, but I mean, those motherfuckers sound big. Then what happened to the girl? Yeah, it sounds bad, and I feel bad also for the whoever found her. Just opened the oven and just saw somebody is
Yeah.
burnt. And be like, damn, it does sound pretty
Yeah.
bad.
I don't know. I don't even know why apparently like it's normal for them to keep it on. That's a weird procedure. It's like I get that it might be faster since it's already warmed up, but if it was on, I'd keep that bitch open.
Yeah, or at least have something from the inside so they can be like, hey, I got stuck.
Yeah, maybe like a help button or an easy quick release, but
Anything, anything that at
yeah.
least.
Set off an alarm so people know that someone's
Well,
traveling.
Yeah, like any sort of safety mechanism. It's
I saw a comment somewhere. Someone said, "Yeah, I used to work at Walmart and I was concerned about their safety."
maintain the safety
Yeah.
equipment. All I'm saying is Target would never have this issue. But
That's crazy.
that is highly insensitive. I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess technically yes, because they don't have a bakery, right?
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
What? Okay. Um.
All right. Well, I was going to go into North Koreans in
Oh shit.
Ukraine
Yeah.
because that does show the future. That is pertaining to the future. Anything could happen now.
Yeah. That's pertaining to your guys' future, actually.
Well, everyone's all right.
Yeah, I guess so. I think
It could
it's
affect the economy.
everything affects the economy. This podcast affects
It
the
does.
economy, actually. NATO affiliated country would send their own troops. I feel like that would be actually no, that wouldn't trigger a NATO pact because I think it's only like a defensive like if
Regardless, it's Ukraine and they're
Poland.
not in NATO, so it still wouldn't really trigger the
No,
fifth.
but like if a NATO affiliated country like Poland or France sent, like 10,000 of their troops.
Right.
I don't I don't know the articles of NATO specifically, but I don't think that would like involve everyone because it's not a defensive attack. It's we're sending our own troops. Like when we invaded Iraq, that didn't invoke NATO because we pursued that war on our own accord. All that is to say, I'll be curious if Ukraine receives any allies, or if this whole thing will just blow over in the next like 2 or 3 months once we get our new president. If they'll just make the peace happen, snap of the
Yeah, they'll just
fingers.
say, "Hey guys, cut it out," and peace will happen.
I love the TikTok comments on like videos of cities getting blown up. Can't we all just be friends?
Yeah. Oh, the horror! Humanity has achieved so much greatness. Why can't we just get along? It's like, you know what?
Yeah,
Like
that
the
one
last
makes
time you
sense.
had an
Why
argument
can't
with
we all
literally anyone, and then like wish death
you
upon
freaked the
someone.
fuck out?
You know why?
Yeah. Why can't we just get along? Yeah.
Our eyes are in the
No,
front of our
I
heads. That means like biologically we're predators. So I mean,
who the fuck has eyes on the back of their head?
yeah, eyes on the side would be prey. So you got like birds, horses.
Imagine if a horse was a predator. That would be kind of terrifying.
That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be fucking spooky. Like it's yeah, that'd be fucking terrifying. They I've seen kicks. They're big. They're fast. um yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Ukraine is gonna play out. I don't think like the 10,000 or so troops that they're sending over is gonna really win the tide over. Granted, I don't stay up to date as to like who's really making any ground, because to my knowledge, it's just been pretty standstill for a while. I know Russia acquired one more between Ukraine and Russia. What do you think both sides would need to get in order for them to agree to a ceasefire?
Well, honestly, this is a like a hard situation because I mean, Russia wants the territory in Ukraine. Ukraine is like, nah, we're good, right? So one part of the fucking like Russia wants that whole part of the country or wants whole Ukraine for themselves. Oh, Ukraine is just trying to defend itself, right? So it's a kind of hard situation because both want different stuff. But I mean, honestly, I would just say just everybody is head of the business. I don't know. Honestly, it's a
Yeah,
hard situation for me to say something.
yeah, that's
I
fair. What
think
about you?
the one size fits all option would just be Ukraine just having nukes. If
that
they had
doesn't
nuclear power, mad. All right.
doesn't help anyone.
It
That
helps
just
Ukraine because then if Russia attacks, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we're just gonna use our nukes," and then Russia's like, "Okay, well."
and then Ukraine is permanently fucking destroyed. Why do you keep leaving?
Because the audio keeps getting
I have
fucked
issues.
up for some reason. But that's because the fucking it's mad. Ukraine isn't gonna get permanently fucked up because no one wants to use it. It's
It's not mad. It's Ukraine is demolished. Ukraine cannot build enough nuclear weapons to
yeah, but
decimate
if they
Russia.
had nuclear weapons, like if we, someone were to give them
We gave them
nukes and they just had them, they had the
that was
arsenals, and then Russia collects intel on that, like, oh fuck, I don't want to fuck with these guys anymore because they have, powers of a superpower now.
well, I don't think it would change. Like we've had. Well, I'm trying to think of the last time like two nuclear powered countries were engaged in a hot war. Um, isn't India and Pakistan? Actually, I don't know if they're in a hot war. I don't think they are. I think they have tensions, but I don't really think like it would be a last ditch effort. Like the capital, Kiev, is being encroached on, or a lot of territories. Zelensky's assassinated. Okay, fuck it. Press the big red button. It's our last ditch effort.
It's not that. It's just the idea of them having it, and they have the capabilities to use it. Because Russia could always, keep playing the nuke card, like, I have nukes, don't touch my shit. Now Ukraine can do the same thing.
Yeah, but like I feel like if we just gave them 500 nuclear missiles, Russia would also be like, okay, so you're an enemy too. Okay, so we'll just mad the entire world.
That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean mad the entire world?
take out us as well. Launch.
They wouldn't
nuclear
do that,
weapons
though.
against us, and
It's war because of the implication. It's literally because of the implication. The whole reason of MAD. Do you know what MAD stands for?
yes,
So then
I know what it stands for.
how would that escalate anything?
So it'd be seen as a sign of aggression that
But no one's gonna want to start nuclear war.
no one is gonna want to, but
No, because
a country could take it as you're forcing my hand.
it's a lose-lose for all parties involved.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be smart enough to be like, okay, let's not do that. Let's not involved if that happened. That it's
Yeah, so Jason's solution leads to World War III. Okay.
That's I don't think so. Again, it's just mutually assured destruction.
They know that a bunch of other countries would get involved, so they wouldn't do it.
It's kind of like you know what? Let's take nuclear out of the equation, right? Let's just put them in NATO, and then we put in a new article like, you know, next bullet fired, NATO's gonna get fucking involved. Ukraine doesn't do anything. Russia doesn't want to do anything now because they're a NATO country, and that's gonna get involved with a big chunk of Europe and the US of A.
I feel like that was a big reason why Russia started its ground invasion in 2022 was because Ukraine was
It was in talks of being
a part
of
of it.
NATO, but they weren't officially a part of
Well,
NATO.
yeah,
yet.
but if they didn't do anything, it was more likely to happen. You know, give defensive protection against Russia. Okay, fuck it. Alright, I'm gonna play devil's advocate to your point. This is an article from foreignpolicy.com, so you know they're great. NATO should not accept Ukraine for Ukraine's sake. What do they have to give? What reasons do they say? Number one, it doesn't meet the membership criteria. Ukraine is still a fragile democracy at best. I mean, yeah, I've heard that it's a pretty corrupt country on all sides of it. That doesn't really.
But I mean, what government isn't corrupt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I guess they're just more corrupt, so that's more bad. Number two, it is not clear that NATO would honor its Article 5 commitments. I mean, yeah. I kind of get why, like, we wouldn't want to, because Russia obviously wants a buffer zone between them, more buffer zone between them and Western Europe.
Yeah.
And Ukraine was just kind of like the middle child, but now they're, you know, they slice them. That's actually, I mean, I guess it's more of a buffer zone for the motherland, but like if you're incorporating their territory, you're still closer to their borders by the end of it.
I mean, your question was how to like end war on both sides, right? Like how to like.
Yeah, what do you think the best way to bring peace to the situation is? That was the original question.
If we scoot further away from that, go with what McDonald Trump wants, right? We could just you know, just stop helping Ukraine entirely and then just let Russia completely take over Ukraine, right?
I mean, that's one way to do it.
I mean,
I'm in favor of stop sending them money. I'm more happy with that than I want that to be the end result. I think when you can't have either side be too happy. Like from what I've heard, Zelensky wants to take back what they've lost during this invasion and Crimea. That's not happening. At least the Crimea part. I don't think any territory that they've truly lost they're regaining through peace talk concessions. I don't think that would because what leverage do you have? I mean, yeah, you've been stalling them with support of foreign nations, but eventually, well, with the support of the U.S. sending military aid.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't just keep giving money to a homeless person if they keep on throwing it away and nothing changes. So once that money runs, Russia obviously doesn't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO, so you make that one part of the agreement. You can't join NATO for X number of years up until renegotiation. You can open up trade back to Russia because wasn't like it was Swift banking that we like closed all their accounts on, and everyone's sanctioned the fuck out of Russia.
Yeah.
So I think like America could use its economic leverage to be like, okay, you'll keep your territories, whatever one wins, except Ukraine loses some territory, but you get some assurances that for like the next 10 years or so, okay, we can focus on rebuilding.
I think
I don't know. I feel like
we should.
I think Joe Biden might be a
I
doctor.
think we should still send
He
it.
hasn't fixed anything.
Send them money.
He's just giving Ukraine pills. All right, he's just giving
I
them
think
pills. That's all
I think we should still send them money, but World War II,
No.
what we did in Europe was gave them was a lend-lease. And I think we did just for a little bit, but it was a lend-lease program where you know what lend-lease is, right?
I don't, but I'm guessing it's like some kind of repayment plan for all the assistance
Yeah,
he gave.
and I think I think it was the UK officially just finished.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean I'd be fine with that. I think you should get a little bit of something for all the aid you gave them because from what I've understood, Ukraine is a very resource-rich country. Like a lot of wheat was exported
Yeah.
from there before all this started. So I think obviously you need to help them rebuild because I don't think just the country and all of its people can do it by themselves efficiently or quickly. So yeah, you just send U.S. workers to help rebuild the country so that they can start repaying their loan faster. Yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's kind of a shitty situation. You either accept help from a country that can give you military aid and allow you to at least stall the war so you don't lose everything, but you're kind of tying your country's economy to them
Yeah.
and your relations. You can't because if you sour them, then Russia can just invade again, and then you'll have no help. So you're economically
Like to the point to which they had to ask North Korea for help, of all people.
that's an interesting way to frame it. I don't know if maybe that is the case. I don't know if they need the help. My assumption would be that they don't need the help. It's more of like a favor, but maybe I'm just
And maybe it's just like
biased. Maybe
helping
I am
North
a
Korea to get
Russian
like
donor.
combat experience that I don't know if
Yeah,
they're ever going to
but
be able to use.
I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, the ones that make it and survive, they'll be a bit battle hardened, and if South Korea ever dares to I don't know what the fuck, do something aggressive, then they have at least some combat ready troops that, because we obviously have troops stationed in South Korea, training them, you doing joint drills, I'd
Yeah.
imagine. So I'm guessing North Korea is looking for a similar advantage. Like, okay, we have our big brother showing us how to fight, and we know how to fight now, motherfucker. So
Someone in the 82nd, you've been rather quiet.
Well, honestly, just listen. I've been listening to you too, but I mean, with this ongoing with all the Russia stuff in Ukraine, I mean, it's what today almost 10 years. I think it's already past 10 years that they've been with all this
yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's been past 10 years, and now you just come up with this. And I think, I mean, how many troops did they send? Like 3,000? No, to
North
Oh, it
Russia?
was
Korea,
about 12,000.
North
Yeah,
Korea
North
sent
Korea sent
10,000
about
12,000.
12,000. 12,000. That's a large amount. And I remember, I think I saw something about uh, National Security Counseling. I think this guy named John Kirby, he said that, I mean, he recognized the potential danger. And if these North Korean troops are employed against Ukraine, he said that they will become legitimate military targets.
Okay, so according to
So it's like,
Reuters, the White House said at least 3. So it's in between around 3,000 to 12,000. Either way, it's still a lot of people.
Big range.
yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, but this whole situation has been going on for 10 years, and Now that North Korea is involved, it's something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think we can just make a prediction, direct? Do you think the conflict will be resolved before the end of the year or no?
Nah, hell no, man. I honestly think that it won't.
I'll give it probably like 2 more years.
2 more years? Okay. I'll be the optimist then. I think it'll be over before December 31st.
I mean, it's after elections.
Yeah.
But I
so,
mean,
you know,
at the
either
same time, we have
you
to
know,
wait.
they've both been campaigning that like I'm gonna make peace as soon as I get in office.
But they don't take the oath until like January. So
Yeah, but like you can do things as interim president, and you're not just sitting waiting to get confirmed. To my knowledge.
No, you are.
Okay. When did you run for president?
if the party remains the same after the election, I can imagine that happening. If not, then
What do you mean? The party? So if Kamala wins, like
yeah, because then you know what? There's no incentive for Biden to end the war. You know, because you're not really going to see the end effects of it until Trump is in presidency. So then he's going to use that for his political.
Yeah, just like, well, you won, fuck you. I'm not gonna really.
Well,
do
like
anything.
yeah, maybe there was like talks or like a plan in place before he was elected, but you know, the war ended when I was in office, so I was the one who ended it.
Yeah, yeah. Try and steal yeah, maybe they're just waiting, just in case he wins.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like when we pulled out of Afghanistan. It was kind of the same thing because there was already a plan that was in place, and then Joe Biden, I think, just pulled the trigger on it with the plan that was already like put in place.
Like, I feel like that came out of left field for me. I haven't heard North Korea be relevant since 2018. Like the last time they were of any relevance to me is when there was photographs of Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un talking.
Yeah,
and then him getting called Rocket Man was kind of funny. But I'm trying to think of like other allies that Russia could bring in, like if China starts sending troops. Like, yeah, let's get some military experience. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna use this for Taiwan invasion. I feel like at that point, if China's military gets involved, I feel like the U.S. would respond more aggressively because you have the two other superpowers of the world.
Yeah.
Just taking turns with the punching bag, pretty much, just honing their skills. So to speak.
Conversations with Putin.
That
That's
is
someone
interesting.
who is a DoD contractor and has a secret clearance, engaging in private conversations with an adversary.
I wanna look up what the article. Because I don't. Fuck it. PBS has to be unbiased, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, major government contractor of SpaceX has been in regular contact for the past 2 years. Okay. A person familiar with the situation who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive matter. I don't know if I trust. Like, if there's a part of my brain that says, why are you being anonymous about this? You're living in America. You're not going to get assassinated. You'll
That's
be lauded
hilarious.
as a hero. You brought that. Oh, you really exposed. You're the man who exposed Elon Musk for talking to foreign leaders.
Have you not heard about the Boeing employees? The Boeing whistleblowers? They just mysteriously died.
You know? Well, Boeing is a company. I don't think Elon has the same reputation as Boeing is. Oh, I'm gonna fucking assassinate you. And I feel like if you draw enough attention and eyes to yourself, you could probably be fine. It rubs me the wrong way a little bit when your only source is someone who remains anonymous, and it's all just word of mouth. But the article mentions what do they talk? Okay, so the person didn't provide additional details about the frequency of the calls, when they occurred, or their content. Russia denied the conversations took place.
Of course.
ago, Musk said he only spoke to Putin once in a call 18 months earlier focused on space. Chinese embassy in Washington said Friday that it was not aware of the specific. Well, yeah, I mean, if it is true, obviously they would say no, we don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so my thoughts on the situation. If I don't know if I trust an anonymous source that can't provide a whole lot of details about this, other than just Elon's talking with Putin. If it is true, and he is, I think that would be like if you're not doing it publicly or like publicly, you're hiding it because you know you're not actively disclosing this. That would be a bit suspicious, just considering who you're in charge, what you're in charge of, what you're developing, the clearances that you've been given because you're working on rockets that can go a very long distance, and it'd be pretty easy to swap a warhead instead of a passenger
Right.
cab. Yeah, I don't know if I trust. I don't know if I fully believe that this is 100% verifiably true.
I mean, there's no way
But if
to
it
like
is,
be 100% for sure, but
Yeah, it's a 50-50
I
chance.
feel like it's less of a 50-50, and it's more of like an 80-20. It's a fucking rich dude who's in contact with a guy who's relevant to your company. You know, the war is relevant to their company, so they're going to be, you know,
how is it relevant to the company?
the war. I mean, they're giving them Starlink and shit. They're allowing them to use their satellites for internet, for their
Yeah, so
for communication, for networks and shit. So
what do you think the talks are about then? Is it just like, hey,
I have no
should
idea what the talks are about.
you should start charging them money
But
for
it's a rich fuck,
access to
you know, who's
sites?
popular, um, who has ties to a U.S. president elect. I feel like it's just not too out of the ordinary, and especially for a whistleblower to come out to remain anonymous when a super rich guy's involved. I mean, I feel like it just kind of makes sense. But again, I mean, it could just be some random fuck. They're like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, kind of pretend, you know, maybe,
Let me do some wild
yeah,
thing.
worked at like a Starlink call center, you know, in fucking Western Mississippi. Or
Out Kamala's speech, she's been quoting some general, John Kelly, who said that Trump said in a room with him that you know, he wants generals like Hitler. He was a very good guy. This, I think I might be paraphrasing, but making Mr. Adolf seem like a favorable person.
yeah,
But again, I think did he directly hear him say this? I mean, if you go on the other end of the aisle, you know, people say, well, he's just upset that he got fired because he was bad at his job. So he's just, woe is me. Um, um, but Bender says unnamed sources reported that Kelly. Okay, so it's all just unnamed sources. I don't like that. These aren't Boeing. These are president. These are very public figures. Boeing is a company made up of random people. I feel like I don't anonymous. Like you need more things to back it up for it to be um, reliably true. I might be making that up, but I feel like that's something I remember from the keys to having journalistic integrity.
Yeah, it makes sense. Not only having one person saying something.
Yeah, you can't just run off the word of one person unless you have other evidence. If you have like multiple people, that's one
Yeah, have
thing.
more sources only than one.
Yeah, more sources, or if you
Yeah,
have
makes
one
sense.
source with tangible evidence to back it up, I feel like that's
That would be better than just one and remains anonymous.
yeah. Hey, that's just me. What video did you just send?
Apparently,
Okay.
The presidential candidates can.
Please be quiet.
it's him responding to the claims.
Give me a second. My trainer is calling me. He might want to
Okay.
join.
Speaking of which, we can go on break right now. Molly, do you have a fad prepared? we're back,
We have another guest with us.
and
It's been all right. Been all right.
what'd you do? You do anything fun?
I worked,
Work is
and
fun.
I'm the one who trained somebody in here.
Oh, so we got a big man right here.
I've mentioned you. Yeah, I've mentioned you multiple times on the podcast.
Ooh, I've been mentioned. Nice.
I've talked about your exploits. I mean, I don't have specific episodes, but
Ooh,
Yeah, some good, some bad.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done?
it's been a long time coming. Right? We've been building the lore around your very existence for close to a year now.
Yeah. Would you like
so-
to fill in like who this is and kind of tie in
Yeah.
how
well,
we
I guess-
talked about him?
Well, I guess obviously he already said his name, but this is one of my coworkers. We both work at the same company, which, if you've listened to the previous episodes, you'll know which company that is. Yeah. Is that a shitty introduction, Justin? Am I doing you a disservice, or?
Yes, absolutely. It's always a disservice. You're
Okay.
you're pretty bad at this.
All right, then you do better. Stage is all yours.
Me do it
Yeah,
better.
stage is all yours.
All right, so as you guys all know, I work for the same company that Carter does. I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm awesome, and I like everything manly. And I'm an asshole.
Okay.
Can I say that on here?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I told you the one thing you can't say, or I've told you that. So.
Oh, don't say the one very particular comment word that I told you that I would say the beginning but never finish it.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, so far we've only had one person break the rule, and it wasn't.
Like, I want to hear your darkest joke.
What do you define as a dark joke or like dark humor?
It could be anything that you feel is dark. Anything that you think is just kind of wrong, but it's funny.
That you'll laugh and you'll go to hell, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, like what do women in parking lots have in common?
What?
Do you guys know? Well, when it's late at night and all the good ones are taken, you just slip it in the disabled one. Nothing from that one, huh?
That is crazy.
You beat me fucking to it. I was gonna use the
That's
sound.
wild.
No, we've joked or thought about the idea of like trying to do an actual open night comedy mic on the podcast.
Yeah.
We've never gotten around to actually doing it, but I don't know. It'd be fun. Like, I know I told Molly a very funny joke that she could make about her particular line of work. Like, Justin, you've seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right?
Yes. By the way, I now have our company's new slogan.
Safety
Living
first.
life one pump at a time.
That is,
Damn.
I like that. Yeah. No, Jason, you should remember this. So, like, the episode where Mac didn't get molested and he was like
Yeah.
upset. Like, why didn't I? So for Molly's joke, you know how like all of her coworkers get sexually harassed by older men, but like it never happens to her. So just like,
All right.
is there something wrong with it? Am I not freaking?
Yeah, they did a take on that in South Park too. He was like Mr.
Well, it's not as funny.
They have a dark past.
So, I believe that if you're going to be able to make jokes about any particular topic, you should be able to make jokes about everything.
Yeah, I can agree.
Because everything's on the table. Otherwise, you're.
Do you
a
think
hypocrite.
there's like a buffer zone, like if a current event just happened? Like there should be.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Give me your best burning in an oven joke then.
Burning in an oven?
That's crazy. That's
there
wild.
was a
I
Walmart
mean, are we
Nah,
trying
bro.
to go to like, back to like the Jewish people here?
No, that's too far. We're
No.
going pretty recent here. There's a
Canada.
There was a 19-year-old girl who got burned alive in a walk-in oven at a Walmart.
That happened just last week, just earlier this week.
Well, I didn't even know about that, so I got nothing for that right now.
But had you had anything, you
If
would
I had
have.
prep time, yeah, I would make a joke.
Interesting. Okay, I think there should be like a buffer time. There's like
Well,
there's a time and a
yeah.
place.
Yeah, like 3 days. And it's been a week. We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, with like, I don't really care about the guy, but like Liam Payne, like I'd say it was like a day before I started seeing like Minecraft. You fell from a high place.
Yeah.
Memes. I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Jokes about it, and like an hour after it happened.
I never got those. So.
I mean,
What?
I laugh. I personally wouldn't make, light of it, seconds after it happened, but
Do you think that makes you a good person?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I'm inherently a good person after that.
So here's the thing. If you can make people laugh, you can take a tragedy and find the silver lining, and humor is that silver lining. Because granted, no matter how bad something is, if you can make people laugh in the end, it helps ease the pain.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it tastefully,
correctly, you got to do it correctly.
Yeah, in a good way.
Again, I mean, time and place. Yeah.
Yeah, there's funny 9/11 jokes, and there's ones that just fall flat on their face. And I think I'd probably do better at like the bombing act.
Where like you're intentionally bombing.
Yeah, like I'm just trying my hardest to do fucking terrible. I don't think it would take much effort.
Oh, you want to be like the Unabomber?
What?
I kind of
just trying to make jokes about bombing. So
Ted Kaczynski's an interesting character. I think I'd do great at like an intentional bombing act on stage.
Yeah.
I think I could pull it off. I just need to find like really unfunny material. I think going up on stage with like dad jokes as my content and then passing it off as like, this is the funniest shit you're ever gonna hear. Yeah. Hype myself up real bad and then just give the most fourth grader jokes imaginable.
I see. I mean, it's kind of like you know how we were talking the other day about you being a serial killer?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that
I'm
you would
literally
be.
not a serial killer. I think you're more in line with one than me, but
I mean, you can think what you want, but it doesn't make it true.
all right, well, who has more weapons? All right, you have more capacity to kill people in a safe fashion for yourself than I do. I don't know any weapons. I have knives, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's like a serial killer's trademark. I mean, mine are just loud. It's gonna draw
But don't
attention.
you have suppressors?
Well, yeah, but they're still loud. Suppressors aren't whisper quiet.
I mean, suppressors
like...
are not.
Yeah, they are.
Call of Duty
No, they're
type
like
suppressors.
Yeah, I mean, they're not Hollywood type.
No, it's like James
Hollywood
Bond.
makes suppressors seem like.
It just does like a little.
No, not even.
It just does
Yeah,
that.
you're not gonna.
No,
I would know
right
because I'm a
next to
really
you,
good
yeah.
shot.
I'm gonna put it this way. You shoot a suppressor, you're still gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it.
Yeah.
But it's just not loud enough to damage your actual hearing itself. Like when I like shooting the Mark 23 with a suppressor on it, it sounds like a nail gun, like a roofer's nail gun, and you can hear that through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's.
Do you like shooting, Justin? For the audience that doesn't know who you are, is that like something you kind of enjoy doing, or?
I mean, I am a competitive shooter.
It is, yeah, literally in your profile picture. What do you mean by competitive? Do you just do like
I do
those
competitions
discs
against other people?
What is it? Those clay discs?
No, that's trap and skeet. That's beginner stuff.
Beginner. So you consider yourself as
a
seasoned veteran?
No, I consider myself a decent shot.
Are you?
I mean,
Your experience,
best shots.
yeah. Your experience, you know how to Gotta
It's
work
all
your
right. You
way.
can glow down here.
I mean, I'm probably better than all of you.
Oh, fuck
Nah,
yeah.
that's a lie.
Remember,
That's a lie.
Watch me do a 360 right now. No scope.
I just did already.
That's
I think out
wild.
of all of us, I'm
See,
the superior
see,
shot.
I'm better than all. I just did one already tomorrow.
I think if we went
Okay,
head to head in
Justin,
competition, I would win.
Yeah? Well, then let's do it.
Time and place. Where is it?
I don't know. Tomorrow at the shooting range I go to. Give me your, send me your information and I'll invite you tomorrow.
I think it would be better if you came here.
I don't want to go to Minnesota.
he doesn't live in Minnesota.
I'm in North Carolina.
Well, then I don't know where he is then.
It's a quick trip down to North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that.
What, are you scared or what?
It's a beautiful state.
Damn.
I'm gonna pass. I don't want to go that far.
It's a beautiful state. All right.
I guess we'll never know
The
then.
real estate's gonna be.
Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
we'll forever just know that
Real
I'm better.
estate's-
Nah, I mean, I'm always open if you come up this way. I just have no desire to travel.
Okay. That's interesting. So we could do that, make it a special episode in the future. We'll give
Yeah.
it 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah, that'd be an interesting event to see.
So I guess my question is, what's the competition gonna? Okay. Are we betting on this? Can we
That
can
would
we
be
bet?
interesting. Yeah, we can do a bet on this. I'm not gonna bet right now, but
My money's on Justin.
Hold
already.
on 1 second.
He's going to get that.
he's
M1
getting
right
all
now.
he's getting all the
He's getting
details.
that M1. That's crazy.
No, sorry, the girlfriend was
Okay,
talking
okay.
to me. Anyway, yeah, the M1 Garen, I could definitely do that. Definitely.
I feel like we got to get you to talk to Tracy at some point. He's the gun guy.
Yeah.
That's also his
Three-way
session.
competition.
A 3-way competition.
I don't think I could get him. He's gonna be elsewhere for a while,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
unless we extend it.
Well, Tracy has like, I can't say that actually. Fuck. This is the issue. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the fucked up one who thinks it's funny, but
So what kind of targets are we gonna have?
Oh, it's up to you.
Up to me? All right. We'll do cigarettes.
Human targets. We have to
We'll do
shoot the cigarette
cigarettes.
out of the person's mouth.
All right.
We'll do cigarettes at
That's
100 yards.
crazy.
Iron sights
Yeah.
only.
I like that.
yeah, you're still
So-
shooting with iron sights. Like,
I bet he's holding right now the M1.
That's fine.
He could
No,
move it right now.
I would have to get up and go into the bedroom and go get other guns off.
That's all right. He'll regret he
top
said that
of
on
the
Monday.
case.
All right, I'll make something happen.
What, against me? I'm
Hey,
gonna
well,
regret it.
No, someone in the 82nd.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh.
like, don't you outrank him? Can't you just make him do push-ups if you tell him to? Like, you
Gotta
legally.
catch me first. No.
Or you can just like send him a letter in the mail. Like, as of the time you're reading this, I, your commanding officer, demand that you give me 10 push-ups. in
Commanding
front of me
officer's
so I can
crazy.
verify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that this email thanks you before I do. I think.
Well, I think it's good. I mean, you guys should get the shooting competition out of the way because I think we should start enacting an assault weapons ban.
Yeah,
I
and
think-
you can, leave the country. Fuck that.
Yeah. Where do you align
no.
yourself politically? Would you say, Justin?
Libertarian.
Libertarian. It's interesting. I like it. Kind of in the middle.
well, I should have the freedom of choice. I should be able to do whatever I want. You know, I mean, nobody should be telling me what I can and cannot do. And the only thing I'm okay with is things that hurt other people, you know, as long as I'm not hurting anyone, who
Right. It's
cares?
the Ron Swanson
You know?
mindset.
I mean, but I mean, like, if and you're, you've gotten into an accident and which affects other people, then yeah, you shouldn't be fucking texting and driving, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like for me, I ended up getting a ticket just because I leaned forward to touch the GPS to find the nearest gas station.
Which I find,
and I got a ticket for
which I
that.
find insane considering most new vehicles, i.e. Teslas and other
Which is
vehicles like that have
ridiculous.
just like a fucking iPad. You have to, like, there's no physical buttons where you can navigate. You have to like physically like move your head, look at it, actually look at what you're doing.
And here's a fun fact for you. So when flying an airplane, as long as you're not taking off or landing, you can text all you want.
See,
but at the same time, there's really no traffic in front of you that you're gonna have to worry about.
I think
the
that's funny
brakes,
because I can
so,
attest to that. When I was on a jump one time, I saw one of the, I think it was the pilot who was just texting on his phone, and then it was time for like green light. He just like looked around like, huh? Clicked the button, and then
Oh.
it's like, oh, okay.
That's crazy.
That was pretty comforting to know. But I mean,
flying planes is fantastic.
I guess that kind of makes sense because like a big chunk of it is just going to be autopilot, especially for like commercial airliners. The big parts, most accidents do happen during takeoff.
Inside the
Right.
cabin, at all times.
Are you a pilot?
I'm a student pilot right now.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That's my next aspiration.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Is it? Are you feel like you're learning a lot though? Are you having fun? Is it hard?
I was until my instructor hasn't been available for me to go flying in the past, like month or two.
Okay.
So it's been very slow and mundane at this point.
So you already
I'm just kind of
you already completed like your ground tests and everything. So now you're just getting in flight hours.
I haven't done the ground
Oh,
yet.
okay.
I haven't been able to schedule time to go take it yet, so I'm still working on it.
Yeah, our job is
I mean, with
busy.
our job, we're gone Monday through
Right.
Friday every week. I mean, I never get to be home, so.
Right.
And when I am home, I'm only home for like 2 days, and
I mean, it's better to work on
it
it,
takes a toll.
sooner than never. So that's good on you.
I mean, at this, right now I'm at the rate where I can just kind of pay as I go and just keep
Right.
going. But ever since I was like 6 years old, so when I was 6 years old, I believe that was when Top Gun was, it was already out, and I watched it for the first time, and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a goddamn pilot, right? I wanted to fly airplanes. And then as I got a little bit older, I remember I was at an air show, and my dad got a picture of me inside of a F-14 Tomcat inside the cockpit. And ever since then, I've always wanted to be a pilot. So when I was actually 18 years old, I tried to go into the Air Force and the Navy as to be pilots, but they're like, nah, your vision sucks. No. So like, but we got so many other things that you could do, and I'm like, no,
Well,
I want to be a
what
pilot.
route were you trying
That's
to take
it.
when you're trying to get in?
I just went straight up to a recruiter's office, and they had me do, what is it, the ASVAB, I think, if I remember correctly, is what it is. And then when it came time for a physical examination, because in order to be qualified, I have to do they want to do an examination, make sure that everything's good or whatever.
Do you have any college experience?
But I was right. I do have college experience, but
like, did you have college experience at that point? Like, did you?
No, that was fresh out of high
Well, of
school.
course they're gonna lie to you. You can't
Well,
really be
no,
a
they told me
pilot in
my
the Air
vision.
Force or the Navy without a bachelor's degree, because that's officers.
Yeah, but you get that while you're in service.
I mean, you can
So
do it
that's why
before.
you go to school.
It's the ROTC, or you can do a different program called OSUT. You could go to one of the military academies, but you can go in as enlisted and then go to school and then eventually go to OSUT.
So I mean, but when they did the actual exam, they're like, yeah, your vision's it was like less than 2020 or whatever it was, and they're like, yeah, no. Like if your vision was 2020, we would send you off for schooling and everything else, and I was kind of
That's
upset,
interesting.
and I was never able
As
to do
far
it.
as regulations right now, it's as long as it's correctable up to 2020. So if you have glasses or some sort of like lens you can see through.
Yeah, and I found this out 2 years ago, and I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah. So I think you were just
But
lied to, man. I think they were just pulling your leg.
yeah, maybe they just wanted me to. I mean, they were really pushing for me to be an aircraft mechanic,
Yeah.
but I really did not want to be an
Yeah, it's like the
aircraft
pilot's
mechanic at the
bitch. You
time.
don't want to do that.
I don't want to fix it. I
Yeah.
want to fly.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You don't want to be a squire?
Well, right now I'm doing fixed wing, and then I eventually want to get into. I eventually want to get my rotary license.
Which one did you want to aspire to be originally?
Oh, I mean, Aspire, I want to get to the airlines, and I want to make good money to continue affording my other hobbies.
Okay, so you want to do a fixed wing with the airlines?
Yeah, I mean, the rotary thing I might do for agricultural purposes because, I mean, it looks fun, and I would enjoy it.
Okay.
It would be a job that I could enjoy every day.
Yeah.
That, and I do want to build a P-51 Mustang. Not with the bubble canopy, but with the squared canopy.
That would be interesting.
I do eventually want to build one.
Building your aircraft, I think that would be a fun
Yeah,
activity.
you can build your own. You can build your own experimental aircraft.
Yeah.
Ocean Gate.
Like every year there's Oshkosh AirVenture. I don't know if you've ever heard about
Yeah,
it.
it's familiar.
It is the biggest air show in the world, and the Whitman Airport in Oshkosh becomes the busiest airport in the world for 7 days.
Yeah. Okay. Are you part of the EAA then? Like, did you?
Yeah, I am a member
Fuck
with
yeah.
them.
Nice.
So, I mean, I get a little bit of a discount on the tickets, with the membership. But it's also, there's a lot of resources in there. I was actually looking at other resources possibly for me, but some of them, I've kind of missed my opportunity.
Okay.
And eventually, once I'm a pilot.
The easiest route for me right now is obviously rotary, which is kind of ironic, but I think fixed is the way to go. I just like runways.
Do you know why helicopters fly?
Why they fly? Like, are you asking about the physics of it?
Yeah, do you know why they actually fly? Do you know how they fly?
I mean, we got two.
It's because they're so ugly that the earth repels them from the ground.
That's interesting.
That's just unfair.
I think that's
wild.
I think you need to look at an Apache before you can say that.
Nah, it's just
There are some, but not all.
I mean, I do find it pretty interesting on how helicopters actually do remain flying.
Yeah.
I mean, the neat thing with helicopters is if the motor goes out, it will still have a gyroscopic effect, but you're just gonna have a hard landing coming down.
Yeah, that's controlled landing. I forgot what that's called.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I'm not in for rotary, so I wouldn't know.
I completely
But
forgot
they'll
how
let
it's
you know.
called or what it's called, but it's like, yeah, they like turn the blades a certain way and then kind of like goes down. I think auto rotation, that's what it is.
Oh, is it?